Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden, and today is a great day. And you know why? Because even though it's a chilly winter day in December, I'm going to plant spring bulbs. And to me, that is like the ultimate doing the job that may not be all that fun in the cold now to have an awesome show come spring. Also reminds me of this quote that I like, and it says, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." Just the epitome of the tasks I got to do today. The bulbs that I'm going to be planting today are Alliums and Daffodils. Both of them are very similar in that I am in zone 8A/B. Neither of these kinds of bulbs need to be cold treated before I put them in the ground. Both of them want to be planted before the ground freezes. I of course have more freedom in that sense because my ground here does not freeze. The other thing is both types of flowers do well in full sun to partial shade. So all of these things are great and why I chose to do them both today. Alliums are a favorite of mine and I'm looking forward to planting a whole bunch of them because I was lucky enough to go on the hunt for my spring bulb and find a clearance sale. So getting alliums on a clearance sale was fabulous. And in this case, in terms of our flower bulbs, clearance doesn't mean that they're going bad, about to turn bad. It just means that the demand for the flower bulbs at this stage is diminishing, and so it's time to put these bulbs on sale. So I snatched up as many of them as I can find. Let's get into some alliums. So let's talk about our alliums first. These that I have the most of is the Purple Sensation allium. These ones are going to be my super tall ones. These are going to be about 30 inches tall. So because of that, I'm going to start planting them in the flower bed that's behind me, but I'm planting them close to the fence because I want that beautiful tall show behind me. Alliums are actually part of the onion and garlic family. And maybe when you look at their bulb, you might be able to say that reminds you of a garlic bulb. So planting these bulbs are going to be quite easy. They come already showing us the little root side. So the roots are going to go down and the flatter part in this case is going to go up. If you have a point at the top of some of your bulbs, the point would normally go up. But here on these alliums, I could just tell you the roots are down and that's it, flattish more on the top for these. The great thing about bulbs is because they come in a package, it does tell you exactly how deep to plant your bulbs and how much you should space them out. These ones in particular, these have to go 5 inches into the ground, no big deal. I am going to be planting a whole ton because like I said, I found them at a great deal, so I couldn't resist it. I bought as many as I could, so I'm going to be inserting them into multiple flower beds. The bloom time on the alliums is late spring, possibly early summer, but for me, likely it's going to be the late spring. When you're buying bulbs, just check and make sure that they're not mushy or spongy in any way. You definitely don't want them to be moldy and just rot on you before you even get to enjoy them. So that would be one thing to look for. And then we're going to get ready to just plop them into the ground. One of the easiest gardening jobs there is. So again, I'm just looking to get these about 5 inches down into the ground, and I'm going to do them back to the back of my flower bed. Some of the nice features about alliums, besides the gorgeous look that you get when they bloom, is they are deer and rodent resistant. So in case you have problems like that, that makes these awesome. And the other thing is they are hardy to zone 2. So many people get to enjoy them, which is just so fabulous. I don't happen to have rocky soil or clay soil, anything that makes my soil hard. I have very sandy soil here. I'm in coastal North Carolina, so I don't need a power tool or an auger or anything like that to help me plant my bulbs. In this case, I'm just using a shovel, and my goal is to get 5 inches down and plop some bulbs in there. The bulb planting style I like best with flowers like these are in groups. I want to make sure that my alliums or anything that I'm going to plant puts on a great show. So I'll be planting mine in groupings so I have a whole bunch of them coming up at once. The next bulbs I want to talk about are daffodils. So I have a trumpet mix of daffodils. These are also hardy zones 2 through 10, which is amazing again because so many people get to enjoy them. These should be planted 6 inches down into the ground, and it's going to be the same premise as before. When you see the root side, that goes down like this, and then the pointy side points up to the sky. So the daffodils are also spring bloomers. So of course my alliums are more of like magenta purple colors, and these are yellow. So the complementary color, you know I'm a sucker for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some daffodils in the ground next. One thing I'd like to say is just a little note for you. When you are planting bulbs, it's a great idea to water the bulbs in when you're done, or just do the job when you're expecting some rain to come after. Since daffodils only grow to be 14 to 16 inches in height, not nearly as tall as the alliums, I can put these in the front of any border or in the middle or whatever I want. In this case, I'm going to choose to put some right here in front of these Texas red star hibiscus that I have, because I don't have any spring interest here right now, but I'm going to. As I start digging up my mulch, that is something else I'd like to say. If you are going to top your flower beds with mulch, the mulch does count in the depth to which you're putting your bulbs. So if these need to be 6 inches down in the ground and I put 1 inch layer of mulch, I only need to dig 5 inches into the dirt. Method you choose to dig your holes, whether it's with a hand shovel or a big shovel or a power tool, it doesn't really matter as long as you're achieving the depth that you need. So I did my row of daffodils here in the front because they're the shortest things that I have. Next, in the next little trench that I dug, I prefer using the trench system if I'm going to be planting multiple bulbs. I have these other alliums. These are Christophe alliums. So these are going to be shorter than the larger alliums, the purple sensation that I have. So I'm going to do some of these. These get to be 16 to 20 inches. So they'll be about 6 inches or so taller than the daffodils. And then again, the large alliums in the back are going to be more like 30 inches. So I should have a very nice display for spring right here in this area. Again, root side down. These, I can tell, smell like onions. So again, my fellow gardeners in Zone 8, December is the time to go ahead and get our spring bulbs in the ground. Looking forward to having a great show to show you when spring does come around and these beauties are blooming. Until then, thank you so much for watching and happy planting.